Here's Task 3 from the British-Italian Nationals 2025, our first trip to the Monte Cucco South takeoff. Overdevelopment was expected behind takeoff, so the task headed out front to the ridge alongside Fabriano, down to Pier Gracco, then back north past Fabriano again and landing at a small airfield. It was clear at takeoff that the hard part was getting to the first turn point with any height. This was a 12-kilometre leg into wind with a predominantly blue sky, so few indicators of lift along the way. Fortunately, there were plenty landing options along the way, so the plan was to get as high as possible on the ridge around takeoff, then race across the valley hoping to pick up some lift on the way. The air in front of takeoff was quite turbulent in places, and it quickly became clear that it wasn't safe to fly too close to the hill. Almost all Class 1 and 5 pilots had left the ridge to start their task, so it wasn't too busy, but you still needed to keep your eyes peeled as all the sports class gliders searched for lift. At times I found myself quite far below takeoff before finding a rough climb back up, though only to a few hundred feet above the ridge. All the sports class gliders seemed to be having the same difficulty as me, and we all searched along the ridge for something better. Some went further out, almost into the valley, looking for smoother conditions. After about 30 minutes I found myself with 2 or 3 other gliders at around 5,000 feet. The other gliders set off for the first turn point and I followed them, though they were starting from a few hundred feet above me. But I talked myself into returning to the ridge to top up to their height before following them again, which was my mistake for the day. This was the highest I flew for the whole task, so it was my best chance of making it to the turn point, but I didn't take it. After another 25 minutes, I left the hill with only 4,400 feet, and I only made it about 5.7 kilometers before turning back and landing at the official gold field. Not enough height to make a decent distance, or give me time to find lift in the valley. More camera problems meant the battery failed just a few minutes before landing. Only 3 sports class gliders made it to the first turn point and all landed 2 to 3 kilometers later. A low scoring day for this class. I could have made a few more points by continuing towards turn point 1 rather than turning back to land at the gold field, but that field did look like the best option.